Oh, brilliant. Hello, everybody. Getting kind of pounded here by rain. So if connection disappears or goes bad, it's because it's raining like hell here. So much rain this season. I'm not wishing it away, but it's been a lot of rain. Hello, everybody. See Jason, Draco, Miles, Harang. Stalled a bit on that one. Jeho, Repair, Jim, how's it going? The Jim, Cypher, Pedro, oh dear. Mr. Godfrey Allen, Homer Simpson, and Harold. Harold. Alright, so what have we got up first? We have got a... Is this 2141? Yeah, 2141 that's been to another place. They're just needing a second opinion. So I'm happy to give that. I've got a new trick too. I've got a metal plate down here so that in the rare event, or like the last couple of days, where I need to use a scope, I can put my magnetic probes on here. So I can put the board down. The board doesn't short out on the bench, obviously, but the probe still can magnetically attach there, so that's kind of handy. I've got a 1990, I think. 1990? Yeah, I've got a 1990 that I don't know what's wrong with it. It's got a whole bunch of liquid damage, but it's all small amounts of liquid damage in various places. I've got almost all my rails, but I can't get platform reset. It's driving me insane. Edboss, Sylvia. Oh, you ordered the first batch of circuit boards. Cool. Did you end up changing the flood style? It was funny when you brought up the question about why I had flooded it with the 24 volts. I was like, yeah, why did I flood it with the 24 volts? What was I thinking? And then when I looked at the schematic and everything like that, I realized, yes, it was because it was just the easy way to get, because there was no ground in that area at all. It was all just trying to get the supply voltage to everything. Not on the 2141s that I know of. I mean, I know those chips are on the 2141 and several other models. But wasn't it the 1949 or something like that that was the only one that it manifested as an issue? Or am I Is it the 2251? I can't remember. Hey, Full Wave. No, Jason, not Grant this time. No, this is a different... I don't even know who this is, Jason. This is just sent to me indirectly. So it's not from... The owner is not the one that sent this to me. So yeah, with this 1990 that I've got, I don't know whether I've got a GPU failure and it's causing things to not come up. I momentarily have proc hot deasserted and then it gets pulled back down, so it's been asserted. So something in there thinks it's getting too hot. There was damage on the thermal temperature sensor areas and I fixed that up and I replaced the chip twice. It's a really confusing one. Hey, Shane stuff. Just had a guy who was really nasty, had to take a leave. Oh, okay, well, yeah, I'm not sure this even comes from the same area where you are, Jason. Alright, so, well, that's great. Yeah, just leave the fly leads. Thank you very much, Pam. Leaving the fly leads just floating around like that. Good thing, another good reason never to just power these things up when you've received them. If I'd done that, goodness knows what those could have been touching on. Well, okay, let's go for continuity mode and see what horrors await. Are there Dan and Colonel Oz? Colonel Oz 28. Okay. Probably not going to get anything showing up here. 800. 130. It's a little lower. Okay, that's okay. They're equalish. Yeah. It is a double stuff. Okay, so we've got a 2v5 short on this side. Now, I'm going to say either the regulator is burned out or we have an internal board short. Actually, I should check to see what the actual resistance is. .19. It's probably a board short. I cannot possibly imagine that they would. It would be unheard of if they would have left this with a bad cap on it. Hey Joey, sorry I didn't get your stream last night, buddy. But I wasn't feeling well. I've been down with a bit of a cold flu, something like that. I don't know what. And I actually spent the afternoon really pushing myself outside in the yard, mowing, ripping out weeds, just anything and everything, just to try and burn the little bastard logies out of me. And I'm feeling okay at the moment, but sometimes when you do that, you can misjudge and push yourself too hard, and you can end up actually being worse off because of it. But it used to be a thing for me. If I'd feel a little bit off colour, I'd go down to the squash courts and just beat the hell out of everything that I could and just burn the little nasty bugs out. Now, you know, that could be entirely psychological. There could be no scientific merit to that, but I go along with it anyway. Hey, Reparity. Yeah, I saw they were very disgusting boards, Joey. And yeah, and you may find they don't even survive after that, but yeah, at least they're cheap machines. Liquid damage is a very common thing on them, just simply because, yeah, they've been around long enough that people have accidents with them. Oh, someone said something about 2141. 2141, 64 to ground, rail, caused by dust, not too bad. Yeah, if you get 64, it's usually a dead NAND. I have had a strange case every now and then where it's around that and then it comes back to life, but that's very rare. 99% of the time you see 64 and it's like, nope, that's a goner. And if you see 3 ohms, it's definitely a goner. You know, I shouldn't say definitely, because it could be possible for one of the capacitors to short to 3 ohms. It's just very unlikely. But that is why you go through and you double check everything. So yeah, I'm putting this down to probably being an internal board short, which is a little weird because this company normally should offer a chip off service. I see they've replaced the lid angle sensor, which is kind of unusual. It's not something we normally replace on the 2141. It's not something that usually has problems, as opposed to you get to the M series Pro, like the 2442 and 2485 or whatever they are, and they're always having lid angle sensor issues, and you either clean them up or replace them. So I wonder what the story is behind that one. Well, Blind Budger, I did warn you when you tried to kiss me that that might happen. Shouldn't be blowing kisses through international internet. I didn't have any virus protection on. Hey there, Tony. Hey, Moles. After cleaning 1K5. Oh, really? That's a weird value to end up with, actually. Okay, we've got this screw stuck here because they either over-tightened it or did something, and it is now... It's locked the stud from the keyboard assembly onto it. That's not a big problem. We just, we'll just undo that. That is some seriously fucking bad work there, bro. Okay, I don't know what to think about this company anymore. Sorry about the language then, but there's a lot of, I wouldn't call it animosity, but for a company that charges many thousands of dollars for their work, you end up with these really badly done jobs. I'll show you just now, and you can tell me what you think of their soldering job. Hey, Nuts and Proud. You flooded with ground. Okay, be interesting to see what you came up with. What the whoever did this work needs to pretty much straight up step up from their chair and walk out of the building. Now, either they did that, I don't know what to think about that. That is atrocious. If they did that reballed, that's not even fucking reballed. I can't work out what they've done there. All I know is they've done it bad. I have a feeling it's still a board short. But we're going to at least dig into it. They didn't even try cleaning up any of this. They might have been blaming it on that. I mean, it's possible that's the true fault. But that's a terrible state to leave the board in. Soldered by Stevie Wonder. Oh. We're allowed to say that. No, that's really piss poor work, really. Come on. You're a company that charges several $100s for a no-fix situation, and you leave a board looking like that. It's like, you don't do that. I mean, I'm sure they'll beg to differ. They'll probably say, oh, this is a bad one, yeah, just a one-off. Maybe it was. Kind of feels like it wasn't. Hey there, Charge. Yeah, a little bit of disappointment. There's a little more sting in it for me because I actually used to do jobs for this company, and then one day they stopped talking to me, and there was no reasons given, nothing. And that's well within their right. But it would have been nice, from a professional courtesy, just simply say, look, we're using alternative services now. We thank you for your work, but we won't require that anymore. And the end. Instead, it's just no response to any of my emails after that. So 600 last time I sent a drive to them, platter damage. And did you have success? So that's the thing, they do seem to have successes. 6 ohms. Okay, this is a bad NAND. Yeah, 6 ohms, bad NAND. But for the sake of the customer, I'm going to confirm that. Too far gone on a platter damage? Yeah. Yeah, maybe it was just left like that because they were sort of thinking, oh well, customer doesn't want to proceed, just put the part back on the board really quickly. I can understand from that perspective, although, yeah. So what we'll do is we'll inject power, we'll get an infrared, just to confirm that the NAND is the one that's warming up and not something else. Like I said, it is possible that you can have a 6 ohm cap short. It's pretty damn unlikely, but it is possible. So we're just going to confirm that one way or another. Still don't like the way they handled that. You watch, I'm gonna have to retract my statement. I'm fairly sure I'm gonna have to retract. In retrospect, it looks like, yeah, they just went, stuff it, put the part back on. I hate it. So this is why I'm generally a very subdued person with regards to my emotions with these sort of things. Because 99% of the time, you make a great big fuss. 99% of that time, you're going to be in the wrong. And I probably am this time too. I do not do data recovery from hard drives as such. I mean, I will occasionally, if the person doesn't want to spend any real money, then I can rig it up with I can rig it up in a setup that we can try and get the data off just by cycling over it with things like DD Rescue. But that's about it. Moles, what's this bullzoid thing? I don't know anything about that one. I shouldn't complain too much. I'm getting my service fee for this at least. Like, I'm not checking it for free. So Linus did a video recently soldering XT90 connector to a 5090. Buildzoid lost their head. Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, XT90s. I know those connectors they were coming out to become they were being pitched as a replacement for the Dean's connectors we used to use in model aircraft. The early ones were a bit crap, but they did seem to get better. Certainly they're going to be better than a lot of those connectors that come with the video cards, that's for sure. Let's see, schematics. Alright, I suppose a bit of power up. So there we go. Oh, that's a little weird. Yeah. Okay, I could be wrong, but what's going on there? That's a weird place where it's not showing up when it's... That's just got to be a shiny spot. Yeah, it was just a shiny spot. I was going to say, there's no way that should be showing up there. I might have to blanket this. That's going to be fun because I don't have a blanket. Let's see, 230 milliwatts. We've not got a lot showing up. Try and cancel the lights. Okay, this is interesting. The NAND itself does not appear to be warming up. Cancel another light. It's circuit board-ish. I mean, it could still be the NAND, but that's kind of behaving more like a circuit board. Sure, flip it over and have a look. Just let it warm up a little bit. I mean, yeah, it could still be the NAND. But I'm really starting to think that's actually a board fault. It just happens to be of a value that's similar to the NAND. Tilt up. I'll try to lift it up a little bit so we can see a bit better. That looks a little more... So we need to align our view here. Hey, what are you doing? Come over here. Okay, that's proper alignment there. Alright, so it's on that bottom edge. So, yeah, it's probably NAND. Hey, Drachev, welcome along. Angry Mark, maybe one day I'll let the code out. Yeah, alright, I'm calling that one. That's sad. Always sad. Alright, next one. This is a 1990. Ow! Don't mind me, folks, just knocking over stuff. Hey, Fix It Pro. Yep, another 2141 down to the Jones's locker. Probably end up in Dave Jones's basement. Yeah, Tony, something like that would be useful. The only trouble is, once you do heat up those, of course, then it takes forever for it to cool back down. So in that respect, maybe a big fat chunk of aluminium might be better. So what is this? Yeah, A1990. So this is going to be in for data recovery as well. I'm getting to the point now where I sort of really should only be doing these for data recovery. I mean, I do like them. They're good machines. Yeah, come on. Sometimes it can be a little more difficult to get off than you expect. Alright, this one looks comparatively untouched. We've definitely got a lot of crap. I'm going to say we've got a shorted cap under here. Or maybe we don't. Battery disconnect. Let's do some resistance checks. We'll check PP bus and we'll check TV5s. No PP bus short, so that's rules out 9081 or whatever it is that commonly is shorted. And that's what we were expecting to hear. That's 2V5 is shorted over here. Alright, out it comes. Hey there, Def Pump. Welcome along. Electro Rep. Nothing overly interesting on this one. Hopefully this is fixable. So I've got another 1990 that I just cannot work out. So I want to put it on the shelf and think about it. And every time, I think there must have been about 4 or 5 different areas of corrosion that popped up. And I was like, wow, there's corrosion there. And so you fix that, and you fix that, and you fix... Yeah, you keep fixing all these bits, and nothing was changing. That's the crazy thing. So it's like I've got this final corrosion boss somewhere, and I don't know where it is. Or it could be that, you know, either the GPU or the CPU is just outright dead, and there's nothing I can do anyway, and it's all just one great big long rabbit hole for no good purpose. How many row? Yeah, I have had some weeks where nothing is fixable, and it's very disheartening. I'd probably say 5 or 6 in a row before I hit a win, but not just with these ones. Rather, I just mean for everything in the workshop. And conversely, you do get runs of great success too. Yeah, you definitely get lured in by the periodic run of solid, easy, nice jobs, and you think you're untouchable, and you think that this is great. Finally, things are going well, and then your bad run starts. Hey, David. Yeah, I don't think I'll be putting the 1990 into the ultrasonic. The thing with the liquid damage on this other one that I'm working on is that it's all very small stuff. It's like just little spits. They're not even something you would notice. Almost all of them were only spotted by oblique observation, as you know, having it on the side and looking at it under the microscope for many minutes on end. Very little was visible directly above, except for the great chunk that would have been directly visible if they'd taken the heatsink off and saw that the mux was just completely drowned in corrosion. And the fact that the mux and then the adjoining, like under here, there was all corrosion here. They cleaned up the corrosion that was here, which is the CPU, one of the CPU VREGs, or this is the GPU. Anyway, it was down here. So they cleaned up this stuff, but they didn't bother to check under here, and there was this nice chunk of corrosion under there. So it may have killed something, but even if it killed the CPU's GPU output or something like that, we should still get some kind of a boot. It'll just have no display. But I'm not even getting that. I'm stuck at 600 milliamps. It's the weirdest thing. It'll get to 20 volts, 600 milliamps. The CPU or the GPU, I can't remember which, it's heating up, and it's locked there. It's not doing anything. All right, we've got a nice, healthy dust chunks there and there. Hilariously, yeah, 9081 doesn't seem to be touched. Where's my brush? I just need to go brush this outside. I'm sick of killing my filters with that. Be right back. Did Milo come back in yet? Okay. Whoa. We've got a flood running along here. You know, well, since we've seen it run like that, I might go check on Mo. It's kind of flooding outside a little bit, so I just need to go check on Milo, make sure he's safe. So give me a couple of minutes and I'll be back. We've got about 4 or 5 centimeters of running like water, about that sort of deep across the whole yard, just sheeted over. So the ground's essentially saturated now. And unfortunately, due to our position, we get the runoff from all our neighbours. And because of that runoff, it can very quickly go from not a problem to a problem. Alright, let's have a look at this board. Well, if I had to pick straight off that, then I would say that top right one there's our problem. And everything else needs a clean up. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's just got that dark look. I mean, everything here is dusty, but it's not damaged. There's a corrosion building up there, or a bit of shadowing on those return pair. That's one side of the board. What about the other? Again, dusty, but yeah, more dust than anything else. Yeah, I'm going to say it's that one bad looking cap. It's a bit like playing Sesame Street. Yeah, which one of these looks different to the others? But that is our shorted rail, that one up there. So let's give it a hit and see what happens. Oh, that actually came off real easy. Not faulty easy, but just it didn't take much heat at all. That's why I don't really care about using tweezers, hot tweezers on these sections, because it really doesn't need it. Let's see, we've got a short still. Yep, short's cleared. Alright, so that was the fault. Or at least we assume it was. We can confirm it by questioning it. Give it some interrogation. Visually, it doesn't have any of the typical kind of crack marks or anything like that. We'll give it a short test, see what happens. Yep, there we go. Decided it no longer wanted to be a capacitor, but instead it wanted to be a 0 ohm resistor. It joined the resistance. So for everything else, we're just gonna toothbrush over it, dry toothbrush, because it's got a fair bit of dust on it. But we've been fortunate wherever they've been using this, it is not seemingly not a humid environment, it's just dusty. But if you get humid and dusty, that's when the real drama starts. You see what I mean by this sort of strange shadowing that's going on all over here? It's rather peculiar. Anyway, it's not dead. It's quite alive now. Thankfully. Hey, Sutterbridge. Suppose we better put that cap back. I mean, you don't really have to, particularly if it's for data recovery. And I know this particular company, they basically, their charge is entirely for data recovery. So when the machine gets sent to me, I know the only thing it's going to be used for when it gets back is to recover data. But I have a feeling with these sort of jobs that the person ends up probably going, oh, you know what, I actually might continue to use it. Oh dear. And then a year later it dies and they go, oops, forgot to back my data up. Hey, Janos. So we need hey, suicidal. Honestly, this one can basically just go straight back in now. The only thing that might trip us up is if they have put it into DFU mode. That's okay. I suppose I should go brush this out. It's pretty mucky. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes. The compressor's going all out. Good job, compressor. Good job. It's like, are you mocking me? I do love that compressor. It's nice, compact, small, but it does the job that I need. Cheap. And it's got enough air pressure to do most things without being so much that it's actually a hazard for your work jobs. Like some people use those large horsepower compressors with very high PSI ratings, and then when they use them on the board they blow off all sorts of parts or damage parts, whereas this one is nice and calm. Obviously you can put a regulator on the big compressor too, but most people don't. Oh. There's one thing I'm almost always guaranteed to do to myself is to forget to put the microphone flex through. Yep, pull the tab off. There we go. Every time. It's almost as bad as on the 1502. The 1502 has a keyboard backlight flex that just sits down the bottom. You almost always forget about it. What are you saying? It's funny, ever since I've stopped making the USB-C meters and things like that, all of a sudden I've got a lot of people asking for them more than before. I'll just keep telling them they have to wait for Harold to do his. And once again, I didn't stop because of the lack of popularity or anything like that. It's just I stopped because I just... Oh, thank goodness, it was the other one. For a moment then I thought I had forgotten to put the keyboard standoff in for the screw, and then I realised that was actually for the 2141. Put a big banner on the website as opposed to a big banger, which I almost said. Jeez. Right, let's see how we go with this one, shall we? Oh yeah, better put the battery in. We'll double check those NAND values. The battery is not yet connected. This is an original battery, so we can get away with this. It's a little bit naughty. Okay, so we're at 1K roughly, so it's good. Hey, this is... Fingers crossed, nothing else went wrong. Here we go. 20 volts, 500, 400, 700. Can be a little hard to tell initially. Okay, 2 amps, we're definitely charging out. Okay, there we go, that's what we wanted. Whee! Alright, and as usual, problem has occurred because it died midway through the middle of something. Press enter. But it's back. See, Jim broke his diet and ate chocolate. Sad that you can't have chocolate, Jim. The only equivalence I can offer you is that I haven't had proper coffee for the last couple of days because I can't get the cream that I normally use. You know, I normally just have pure cream in my coffee. It's like, it's just cream, nothing else. And it is surprisingly common for that to run out at the stores. You can have all these other kinds of creams. You can have thickened cream, you have cooking cream, you have lactose-free cream, you can have cream galore, unicorn cream, whatever. But they won't have plain cream. Plain cream always runs out, and that's what I use for my coffee. Funnily enough, the cream in coffee thing for me was something that was shown to me when I was in South Africa. This is booted just fine. It actually looks like it's got a fair bit of charge on it too. Maybe not. That's interesting. We'll try that again. It looked like it had done a decent job of only like 1600 milliamps, and then when I pulled the plug, it died. So I thought that maybe it didn't. Theobromine is almost as good as caffeine. Almost. What the side effects? Yeah, it would. Uh, I mean, I don't have a huge amount of cream in the coffee, but the main thing for us is that you can shake the cream up and it gives a very nice velvety froth without having to do the heat treated milk to generate froth. So we basically avoid burning the milk, boiling the milk, and instead we just shake cold cream and get the same effect. Definitely low carbs, yeah. High fat, but low carbs. That's a good point. I should use that the next time someone whines. I'll say, hey, there's no carbs. But it's just frustrating. It's like, what do they do with the rest of the cream? It's obviously a popular item, so why the hell does it keep running out? It's infuriating when you get these places where they're supposed to optimize. I guess they are, and we just don't know what it is, but they should be optimizing their sales, and yet somehow they run out constantly of the popular item but use the resource in unpopular items. I don't understand. Slime has a Red Bull in the morning. I can't handle Red Bull. I find it's a little bit too sweet in a way. I prefer V. If I have to have a can of that stuff, I will take V. UHT cream we tried and it was just awful. I don't know what it was about it, but for some reason it was just awful. Suicidal, yes. Woolworths. We only have a Woolworths here. Okay, there is an IGA, independent, whatever, but they don't count. Um, and yeah, they're forever out, forever out. And what's truly annoying, but I suppose again they're just doing their marketing. They had boxes of cream that were expired the day before, still selling at full price, and it's like you haven't even stickered it to say it's actually even expired. Oh, okay, Tony. So you're also the same with the cream. Yeah, I mean, going back to milk in coffee is just like, oh, I don't know. I just can't stomach it anymore. But yeah, just cream and not a lot, but just enough to give a little bit of that velvety top and take away the harshness if you're dealing with shonky coffee. I don't mind drinking espresso straight. That's fine. But when it comes to like drip filter or anything like that, I've got to have the cream and a smidge of sugar. Usually I use brown sugar, the stuff that's quite, it's got a little bit of molasses in it. I find that nice. I do like tea as well, but mostly it's coffee. Electro Rep just made himself a double shot. I shouldn't talk to you guys about coffee at this hour of the night because there is no way I can have coffee at 9:30 in the evening. It'd be insanity. Sylvia, I thought it was, and I can only put it down to the fact that they would just simply run off their feet and they hadn't had a chance to mark the products as being out of date. I mean, it's a pretty demanding process to try and keep track of everything. I did notice today in the shop though, they've actually upgraded to e-ink display price displays, which is really nice, but I think they still have to be individually updated with a handheld terminal as opposed to being able to be updated just remotely. Miles, you got a point there about me never sleeping, but the difference is that at least if there is a chance for me to sleep, even though I have coffee, I'm definitely losing that chance. On the other hand, if I have coffee during the day and I'm already tired, I will go to sleep. It's weird, I know. Something about daytime lets me sleep. Hey there, Paul Hal. Okay, this I see we're doing 4 amp charge here, so yeah, I'm gonna shut this down, reassemble it, and then we're gonna have a look at one more. I think. Ooh, kind of. Paul does not have ADD. I just can't wait around for many things. Coffee putting you to sleep is an ADD thing? Really? That's only during the day, though. It's kind of like it just simply... Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It's not to say it puts me to sleep, but it does not stop me from sleeping during the day. On the other hand, at night, should I be so stupid as to try a new brand of chocolate or anything like that, even just a square, that will keep me up all night with that feeling of you just can't seem to dive into your sleep. You're just sort of forever bouncing off the threshold of getting down into sleep. Being an idiot here and working on... Good thing I didn't make a mistake there. I blame you guys. I had the battery still connected. Coffee deficit disorder. That's a little more legitimate. Ooh, humidity's cranking up. And supposedly we've got a pretty solid week of rain ahead. So it's going to be interesting. Hey there, Serge. We have a dog, 2 puppies, and a cat sitting in the front door. Oh, enjoy the walkies. We'll just get this back together so that I don't have to worry about it tomorrow. Especially since I've got to break the bad news about the other one. Geckos find it amusing. Six hours during the day, Jim, is pretty good. I will usually pick up 2 or maybe 3 hour blocks, but that's about it. Yeah, the idea of a 6 or 7 hour constant sleep, the sort of sleep where you just fall asleep and then you wake up and you feel like, wow, have I been abducted or what? That kind of sleep where you feel like you've been reset and you wake up and you start speaking penguin. Yeah, that just doesn't happen anymore, which is really unfortunate. I would be happy if I only had to wake up once during the night and I could have, say, two 3.5 hour blocks would be lovely. I could pretty much probably survive on that, I think. Not ideal, but certainly better than what I'm dealing with right now. On the upside, we are turning into the cooler months now for this region, and most of the time during the cooler months I do tend to sleep a lot better. Yeah, Tony, I don't know. I think it may be the commentary that makes the geckos laugh. They're not really rain-driven creatures, as far as I can tell, unlike the frogs, of course. Having a clock next to your bed sucks. Don't have one of those. But I can well imagine it would, because you'd constantly be like waking up and looking at it thinking, oh, I've got 3 hours and 55 minutes left of sleep if I can fall asleep right now before I've got to wake up. You just do that every 30 minutes. Very rare for you to get less than 10 hours every night. Wow. Oh, you still wake up buggered though. That's a bit torturous in its own right. Because you'd be thinking, wow, I'm sleeping all this time that I'm not doing anything else with, and I still don't feel great. Three and a half for Paul. And you feel terrible when you wake up after that 3 or 4 hours, and yet somehow you just still push through the day somehow, and you're stuffed. But then typically for us, we get around about this time of the night and we're like, yay, we want to do so much, but we don't want to go to bed because we didn't get much done during the day because we're so stuffed. And thus the cycle continues. All right. Damn it. The side lock tab just broke off that. I hate that when that happens. Yep, that's right, Paul. Go to bed in the wee hours of the morning, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. That's not unusual. I am very thankful for the fact, at least, that I do have the opportunity to be able to do that. I mean, it'd be terrible if I had to do a 9-to-5 job. I don't think you could survive very long if you did that. Pardon me. Sorry about that. Oh, you got diabetes. Okay, that type 1 or 2? I'm guessing type 1. They use it. And yeah, Jim, many a time would be like, I'll just start to see the glimmer of the morning coming up, the morning glow. And you get that, here comes civilization again. And you have that urge to stay up, be up before everybody else, get your stuff done. But then you crash. Or you go, I'll just take a 5-minute nap. And that 5-minute nap, suddenly it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and you're waking up. Alright, so that one's fixed. I feel, mate, that would be nice, yeah, with the open schedule sleeping. It wouldn't be too bad, except, we do have all the animals and they do impart certain demands on our lives. I just want to check this 1466 over. Oh, is this one that got butchered? Hmm. You stay on a little bit? Yeah, you are. Shut down. It stayed on this time when I pulled the cord, which is to be expected. It had about 3% battery. No. What's the deal with this 1466? I need the job number, damn it. Damn it, Jim, I need the job number. Okay. Locked in. And we need a MagSafe cable. Hey, Thomas McQuake, well, we had two reasonable ones, and now we've just switched to the ancient. This is a 165, so it's not the worst. It's only about 10 years old. They're still good machines. I mean, I still use it as a compiler for my flex board view. Wow, so much crap on those ports. Yep, can't use a USB-C chipmunk on that. I'm not exactly sure what the fault is that I'm looking for here, other than the fact that we've got no blinking. Oh wait, it works. Fixed. Yeah, there's got to be a problem with this, surely. Or is this what I diagnosed last time? I was like, it's fixed. I don't like when they're like this, because I did have another one that was also, it's fixed, and then when I went to go put it all back together, it died. CPU death. .88. Slightly dodgy looking resistor there. The corrosion there. When you start getting boards like this, it's very easy to end up in a situation where you start chasing intermittent faults and you just very quickly waste all your time. Wait, drop it first? What? It is rather amazing how sparse these boards are relative to what we have now. And what really doesn't help is when I don't get a bug report or a fault report from the people who send me these things. And that rain is coming down heavier. I'm actually slightly starting to get worried. It's difficult, but our house can flood. Not extensively, but what will happen is the water will run through the centre part of the house, because unfortunately the gap between the ground level and our door level is only about 100 millimeters. Am I in the tropics? Yes, I'm in North Queensland. And we have been pounded with rain for the last couple of months now. Whoops. This I'm just going to reassemble this, and maybe the fault will reveal itself when I pretend I'm going to send it back. It's unfortunate about the lack of rain, therefore, you see here. I mean, we know about that kind of thing pretty well up here as well. What are you doing? You don't do that. That's not where that belongs. Don't put that in there. I was trying to put the Wi-Fi cables into the slot that's meant for the camera cable. Idiot. There's no shroud for this. Someone's already pulled the shroud off. Damn it. Getting tired of supplying shrouds for people. This one's going to have to do without. Oh, wait. Damn it. Nope. Idiot in charge. Okay, let's see if we can slip the shroud on after the fact. You gotta love it how you spend so much time trying to not do it the proper way that it probably would have been quicker to do it the proper way. Where's my fan assembly? Again, I don't know exactly why this machine is even here. I mean, at least give me a hint. A hint a little more than it doesn't work. It's not, well, that, I need something a little bit more than that. I said, hopefully this will all be revealed to us shortly. What the quack? Right. Yeah, maybe the SSD is the problem, or maybe the display is the problem. Like I said, just be nice to know up front. Ah, tootin' damn it. Where did I put that screw? You. Oops. I got pinged. What am I being pinged for? Oh, Mr. Paul Howe. Mr. Paul Howe wasting his money saving my kitty cats. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for the 50. Paul Howe doesn't trust me to look after my cats, so he ensures that he sends through his hard-earned money to give them a better life. Thank you, Paul. Okay. battery. I need to use my test USB stick here. Ah, great. Oh, there you are. Seriously, Paul, you don't? Well, I very much appreciate that. I very much appreciate that in spite of your personal stance, you still do what you do. Thank you. More of a dog person? Oh, I can respect that. Well, the drive shows up, so we're going to boot into the test disk and see what happens. It's not weird. What do you do in these scenarios where everything works? Which, Sylvie, probably things like the new MacBook Airs, things like that, with the stupid sandwich logic board on them. They're infuriating. Things like the 2681, I think it is. Just terrible. To get any sort of look at the board, you've got to strip off the top metal shield of the logic board. And you've got to take all the speakers out and all sorts of stuff. It's a major pain in the backside. Do not like them at all. And almost all of them are screen failures because someone got liquid damage in them. Well, thank you, Paul. Thank you. You know, I appreciate that. And we've got 4 minutes before Micro is due for his shot. So let's hope we can get an answer here. Sometimes machines come in and it's just that someone hasn't tested the MagSafe. Oh, Slime, don't do that. Don't give them ideas like that. My goodness. Stacked sandwich boards. No, no, no. To hell with you, Slime, with that suggestion. That's a terrible suggestion. Okay, the first thing that comes off to me is the fact that we've got 0% on the battery, but it could be charging. So again, look at this value here, this 540, and see if it trickles its way up. And it went down. Fantastic. It does say it hasn't got a warning on the battery or anything yet. Hey, Lelo. Okay, that's fine. Screen brightness is fine. I think we might just have it's potentially we just got a bad battery in this thing. Internal battery is 0%. Shut the lid. I do get annoyed if jobs get sent to me that are just a battery or, yeah, this is very simple stuff that should have been sorted out before it got sent to me. I mean, accidents, mistakes happen. That's understandable. But sometimes you kind of wonder, yeah, if it was a mistake or just not going through their own due process properly. Trackpad works fine. Okay, so we're at what are we? 263, 264. I'm going to go do micros injection, come back and see if that battery's improved. If it hasn't, then I'm just going to say it's probably the battery. Well, I see we're up to a nice healthy 2.8 amps, so that's pretty good. Ow, ow. Thank you, Oasis. What's going on here? Ah, wow, FPOS came through already today. It's funny with the banking terminal that I use for taking payments for phone screen repairs and things like that. Usually that doesn't get processed until around about 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock at night, but all of a sudden it's processed at 10 o'clock tonight, so that's different. Alright, so what the hell? It's charging. I don't know what to think about this one. I don't want to send it back without having some kind of answer, but it really does seem like maybe they just had a bad MagSafe. Because I can't. Yeah, you can't fix a fault that you can't find, so to speak. It could just be a very weak battery. Like, we're only at 1% at the moment. So, Jason, you changed from Square, what the hell? Square, is that Square Pay to Smart Pay? There's a screw under the laptop, is there? No, it's not actually. It's a it's a little sticker. But good spotting. But yeah, it's a little sticker top. Hey, Tony Nash. Hey, you're off to a pretty good start. We'll call it a 50-50 start this week. Yeah. That's okay, laptop. No, it was good spotting, honestly. I appreciate that. But as soon as you mentioned it, I figured, oh, that's what you might be referring to. Oh, Miles, did you burn the clutch cover? Did you melt the clutch cover on this thing? This black strip here? Yeah, you go anywhere, anything over about 70 or 80, and they do not like it. Okay, we're up to 3%, so it looks like that was just the kind of like the long build up to the first 1%. Let's try run Valley, see if it does anything. What I hate about those clutch covers is that the replacement ones you get are just useless. And you can't seem to find genuine original ones. The holding bar on the backlight connector. Oh, the lock bar? "20 frames per second, that's perfectly acceptable for this machine." I don't know. Jason, I'm still just using Commonwealth FPOS terminal. I'm happy with that. And then, of course, PayPal for everything else. I used to have a more comprehensive system, like I had full integrated bank, online transaction taking from the websites and all that, but for the few sales I lose due to only having PayPal, it it's not really worth it for me to do it another way. Now I'm stumped on this one, folks. I'm gonna say that this was probably a bad MagSafe, and that was it. I can run memcheck on it. That's pretty much all I've got left. I mean, I suppose I should really test the SSD, see if the SSD actually does boot. Is this Jim Allen? Make the damn studio memory chips and make some real money. Studio memory chips? I don't even know what you're talking about. Hey, Wong Wei. Yeah, actually, good thing. No, Neo just brought up a very important point here. Does it work with a genuine MagSafe? That's actually the 165 is one of the very few um, machines that chucked a wobbly if you didn't use a genuine. But every now and then, what will happen is that the sense system gets buggered up, and it will work on a non-genuine, but not work on a genuine. This is what happens when you don't work on things for a while. You start forgetting the basics. It's gone green and then orange, so that's running. The SSD upgrade board for Mac Studio. Okay, I don't know about that one. Is that the one that what's his name put out? iBoff or whatever it is? Okay, we've got a boot. I'm just going to tilt this down because it is going to boot into the customer's system. Seems fine. Keeps running even when you take that out. Alright, I'm going to run a mem test on it. It's pretty much my only test I've got left. I hope that's the mem. I hope that's the mem test book. It's not booting like it should. Oop, no, that's another mystery one. And this will just run through the night. Hammer test? Can't stop that. Yeah, Silvio, I did like these TDKs. These ones are starting to wear out now, but they were a good, definitely a good USB stick. And away it goes. Now we just wait. Alright. Well, that's it for me for tonight. We had one failure, one success, one redaction of anger from me. Yeah, I'm guessing what they did is with that original one, they pulled the chip off, found it was 2 or 3 ohms on the NAND and just stuck it back on. But yeah, it looked a little messy. That's also that I overreacted on that one, and so that was my slip up there. But definitely, yeah, still a dead NAND. Can't change that. At least we fixed up the 1990, and this one, who knows what's wrong with it. I'll double check with the person who sent it up to me, the business, but more than likely it's just, I'm going to guess they just had a bad MagSafe day. Hey Ryan Labs, can you use a USB stick to boot from on any of the new... I haven't tried with any of the new M series, no. I don't think you can. The big problem is that once you get beyond the... As soon as you hit like the A19, A9s, anything with the T2, you already have to pre-approve booting from a different source, and so it kind of defeats the point. The convenience of having these USB sticks is that I can boot from them even when I haven't been able to log into the machine or anything like that, so it's an alternate boot system. But with anything with the two T2s, you can't. You have to pre-approve it, so to speak. Yeah, basically what Miles just said. If you use OpenCore, well, I guess we're going to assume normal, if you've got OpenCore on it, you've already got the access, if you know what I mean. As opposed to a typical MacBook that you're going to get in, you're not going to be able to do it, yeah. Fixing CNC boards this morning. That sounds like actually a little bit more fun. I need to do something with my CNC machine. The 3D printer barely gets used at the moment. The CNC machine, it has never even made its first cut yet, so... Alright then, listen, I'm out of here. Thank you all for watching. Sorry it was a bit of a, neither here nor there stream, but I appreciate that you all came along, sit down, have a chit chat. I guess you'll see you on the next one, whenever that may be. But in the meantime, you all take care. Thanks again. I'll catch you later.